I bear witness that Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is the messenger of Allah. May Allah bless our gathering. Allahumma ameen. May Allah accept our good deeds. Allahumma ameen. May Allah increase our level in Jannatul Firdaus and increase us in between and give us a higher status in dunya and in the hereafter. Allahumma ameen. It's a great time, alhamdulillah, that we gather together to reflect upon the topic of the khutbah that we shared today with you. Alhamdulillah, this good gathering, inshallah. Sisters, may Allah keep us always united. It's all about being together as one community. And one of my dua is always for this beautiful community that, as Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam had told us, to make a dua for each other. And that will enhance the relationship amongst the community members. That also will put something new to the concept of dua. For you dua to be accepted, you need to make dua also for others. And that's why do not only make dua for yourself. That's why we get this from the Quran. He said, Allahumma ighfir li wa liwalidayya wa lilmu'minin yawma yaqumu al-hisab. Oh Allah, forgive my parents, forgive me, and forgive the rest of the believers. And why he's making that generic dua? Because he wanted his dua to be accepted. And that's why one of the du'as that we make a dua for the ummah in large and our community by saying, Allahumma wahid saffana. Allah, keep us united as one row, as one line. Wajma' kalimatana. Make our word, our decision one. Wahid saffana, wajma' kalimatana. And number 3, وَحَبِّبْنَا إِلَى بَعْضِنَا. Oh Allah, increase love amongst us. And that's what we need actually, because all of us are brothers, right? And the sisters in the back, sisters to each other. And like we are one family, one ummah in large. Yes, maybe we came from different parts of the world, but at the end of the day, we share the same religion, Quran, Sunnah, Hadith. We share everything. The minute that you pray at home, when you recite Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, there is an Imam here will say Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim, right? Another brother in clean water will say Maliki Yawmiddin. Another Imam Jalal in Tarpur Spring, he will say Iyyaka na'budu wa iyyaka nasta'in. That's the greatness of our Islam. So may Allah keep us united. Say Ameen. No, we need big and like loud Ameen. Say Ameen. Allah, inshallah. See the people of New York, inshallah. Actually, I'm missing lots of brothers. Brother Ezzeddin, missing brother Abdul Basit also. Inshallah, may Allah give him safe trip. Allahumma ameen. Where is brother Ashmir? So also I'm missing him. Huh? Yeah, he's hiding somewhere. So may Allah bring all of them, inshallah, and give them safe trip. Also, brother Faisal, also missing him, inshallah. And Malik and Muhammad, inshallah, had just come. May Allah bless you, brother. Allahumma ameen ya rabbil alameen. So we talked today about sadaqah, right? And we said that sadaqah is not only about money. There are many aspects of sadaqah. And actually, when it comes to the sadaqah, you know, there is a special gate in Jannah for sadaqah. As we have a special gate for Jannah, in Jannah, for fasting, for siyam, which is called Ar-Rayyan. See Hajj Wajdi, mashallah. He's on the spot. MashaAllah. So Bab al-Rayyan, the gate of al-Rayyan, we have another gate. So the Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said in the hadith, there will be an angel who is holding the gate of sadaqah on the day of judgment. He's asking only about those people who have given charity for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and Allah accepted their sadaqah. We can stop here a little bit. It's not only about giving, but it's also about acceptance. Because you wanted Allah to accept your sadaqah. And again, there are lots of people, and maybe I give that only like 1 or 2 minutes during the khutbah, but that's very important. And And wallahi, I'm giving this advice to myself and to you as well. Like sometimes people, when they give sadaqah, subhanallah, astaghfirullah for this. When they give sadaqah, they give the worst that they have. Like, where is the old clothes? Where is the bad shoes? The things that I do not want. So I will give it to whom? To those poor people. Give it to them. Give it to them. You know that concept? What Allah said in the Quran is completely the opposite. Allah said in Surah Al-Baqarah, لَن تَنَالُوا الْبِرَّ حَتَّى تُنْفِقُوا مِنَّا. You will never get the highest of the reward of your sadaqah unless you spend out of what you love the most. It's the case. The best story for this is the story of Sayyidina Abdurrahman, the one who came with the sadaqah when Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and that's, Rasulullah was the first one was raising money, like fundraising. You know that? Because some people say, oh, we don't like those people who do fundraising. The first one did that, Rasulullah. So he stood up amongst people and he said, من ذا الذي يقرض الله قرضا حسنا? Who is the one here will give a loan to Allah? Then Allah will multiply his reward. So then some people raised their hands. And then Rasulullah recited the same verse. You will not get the highest reward unless you spend from the best thing that you love the most. So the man stood up and he said, Ya Rasulullah, Allah is my witness that the best thing in my eyes that I love the most is a piece of land. A piece of land which has 600 palm trees. Big garden, big farm, 600 palm trees. Palm trees at that time, like the dates at that time, that was the core of the business at that time. So you are talking about something huge. So he said, Ushhidullah, Allah is my witness that the whole garden for the sake of Allah. So he has palm trees, 600 palm trees, and lots of fruits, lots of everything, subhanallah. And he gave it immediately on the spot for the sake of Allah. And another narration said, when he finished the meeting with Rasulullah, he went home. He went home and he found, his wife saw him from long distance. So he started to call her, Ya Dahdah, go out, because from now on, this garden for the sake of Allah, it does not belong to us. It's not ours now. And some narration said that her son was eating an apple and he just took a bite from the apple. So she took the apple from him and she threw it back. She threw it back in the garden. And she said, it's not ours now. Now it's for the sake of Allah. Look at the man, look at the wife, look at the interaction with the sadaqah. She did not say to her husband, are you crazy? Are you mad? You gave the whole thing for the sake of Allah? You wasted our fortune? You lost your mind. You may be cuckoo, What did you make? You gave everything for the sake of Allah? But that's how they look at the concept of sadaqah. Listen to that rule. It is called al-malu malullah. The wealth that you have, the money that you have, actually is not yours. It's belong to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's why you say that statement many times, but sometimes we say it, we do not reflect upon it. When you hear somebody passed away, you say what? Inna lillah. What does it mean, inna lillah? We belong to Allah. That includes what? Everything. We belong, inna lillah. All of us, we belong to Allah. We belong to Allah in every aspect. We belong to Allah in every matter. We belong to Allah and we will return to Him. And I told you the shroud has no pockets, right? And that's why those who understood, if they started a business trade with Allah, let me tell you, there are people when they give sadaqah, they feel they have the upper hand over the receiver. Like they look down to those who get their sadaqah. No, they are poor. Some poor people I have met, Imam, and I give them sadaqah. You know, mashallah, I'm so generous, Imam. So I always give sadaqah. Those people, masakin, those people are so poor. I went to another country, they cannot find even a sip of water, Imam. So I said, let's give them some of my money, some of my sadaqah. And they say it while they are looking down to them, like they did a favor for them. You know what? Tell me, let me tell you tonight, they did a favor for you. Because they got your sadaqah, they accepted your sadaqah. One of the stories that happened like recently, there was a man and he said, you know what? I will give a sadaqah to those who are poor. And he said, you know what? Today I will give that sadaqah. And he found a homeless guy. And he said, I do not want to give you money. Maybe you will take it and get some drugs. You know that way that they talk with people? Oh, you take my money and you mess with my money. You take my money and you spend it on something haram. I need to be sure that my money in the same spot, in the right way. So he took him to the restaurant and he said, here is $20. Take it, get a meal, like $8, $10, and give me the change. I'm waiting for you in my car. So he stayed in the car waiting for him to come out. The man did not come out. And he said, did he take my $20? Then he went to check on him in the restaurant. He found lots of food in front of him. He said, what happened? He said, I went to the owner of the restaurant and I told him about my story about your $20. He said, no, don't use the $20. Take whatever you want. It's for the sake of Allah and eat. And he said, what about my $20? And he said, here is your $20 back. Take it. So the man said, when I went home, I discovered that Allah hated my sadaqah. And Allah sent it back to my face. Allah did not want my sadaqah to give my sadaqah. So some people think that they are stingy. Oh, we control, we decide whether to give sadaqah or not. No, in some cases, people, Allah made them blind to give sadaqah, not because they don't want to give sadaqah, no, because Allah had hated their sadaqah. Allah does not want them to give sadaqah. So the fact is, the one who is accepting your sadaqah actually is doing a favor for you, because this is the real money that you will keep it for the day of judgment. You remember the sheep and the shoulder for Sayyidah Aisha? She said, all gone and the shoulder remained. Rasulullah said what? All had remained and the shoulder gone. What we eat, what we consume actually, this is what gone. But what we give, some narration said that somebody donated clothes. And he said, when he found on the day of judgment the barakah of what he gave, he said, I wish if I give new. I wish if I give those old clothes new, because he will find more reward. I told you, no way other than sadaqah can take you faster to Jannah than anything else. Sadaqah, when you give, especially when you build that on the trust in Allah, you are initiating a business transaction with Allah. If you reviewed Surah As-Saff, هل أدلكم على تجارة تنجيكم من عذاب أليم? Allah is telling us, can I tell you about a business transaction that will save you from the day of judgment? And that's how Allah looked at it. Some people, when they give sadaqah, sometimes, you know, we are human beings, we are very weak. Some people, the people that they give them the sadaqah, they are not appreciative. They do not react good with the sadaqah. Sometimes you give sadaqah, and the one that you give him sadaqah, he insults you. Sometimes he curses you. Sometimes he backbites you. You know, if there is something like this happen with me, I feel happy. I feel happy. If I give somebody sadaqah and he backbited me, wallahi, I feel happy. You know why? Because I do not want him to thank me. I wanted to get all the reward from Allah. Sayyidah Aisha, one day, a lady came to her and she gave her sadaqah. Sayyidah Aisha gave that lady sadaqah. So the lady started to make a dua for her. Sayyidah Aisha responded with another dua. Whenever she makes a dua, Sayyidah Aisha responds with another dua. Another lady next to her, she said, you just give her sadaqah. Let her make some dua for you. She said, no, because she might think that her dua in return to my sadaqah. She is making dua for me, and I'm making dua for her in return, and leave the sadaqah for Allah. Leave the sadaqah for Allah. And that's the concept. So do not think if people praised me, I will give more. If people disgraced me, I will stop my sadaqah. You know, if you did that, it means it wasn't for the sake of Allah. The sign that it was for the sake of Allah to give, whether people pleased you, praised you, thanked you, or even cursed you, you will continue your sadaqah no matter what. Do not see people in front of you. You are dealing with Allah, not with anybody else. That's my humble advice. Try to give sadaqah on like weekly basis, monthly basis. Yes. للفقراء والمساكين والعاملين عليه. Yes, it's all for all the categories of sadaqah, for the 8 types of the people that you give them your sadaqah. And again, it's all about your heart. Where is your heart when you give sadaqah? You remember the hadith about the 7 categories will be under the shade of the throne of Allah? A man who gives sadaqah with his right hand and his left hand didn't know what he gave. Means what? He will not even talk with himself about the sadaqah that he gave. Nowadays, mashallah, some people give sadaqah and we post it on Facebook. Mashallah. And he wanted to take selfie while he's giving sadaqah. Hey, you see, I'm giving sadaqah. I'm so generous. That's not the way. You give it for the sake of Allah. And that's it. I don't want anything from anyone except Allah. I wanted to see my palace in Jannah. That's my reward. May Allah grant us blessings in our life. May Allah bless us all. Allahumma ameen. Ya Rabbil Alameen. Jazakumullahu khairan. Thank you so much. This is the time now for dinner. I see Brother Ahsan, inshallah, is preparing everything. And I see some of the brothers are hungry. So are you hungry, brother? Who's hungry here? Dr. Yusuf, are you hungry? Huh? Astaghfirullah. Please, go ahead. Yes, go ahead. Allahu Akbar, Allahu Akbar. That's a good question, actually. Which gate that the Prophet Muhammad will go through? So they said, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will let him, by honoring Rasulullah, to go through all the gates. See, he will go from that gate and come out, from that gate and come out, from that gate and come out. And the last gate that he will go through is the gate of Al-Firdaus. The gate wide as the width of the gate from the east to the west. That's the width of the gate. And let me give you the good news. وَإِنَّهُ لَيُتَزَاحَمْ عَلَيْهِ. It will be so crowded over it. So lots of people, when they talk, like they give you the impression that all people will go to the hellfire. I'm telling you the opposite. Inshallah, inshallah, all people will go to Jannah. Inshallah, except few. May Allah make us amongst them. Yes. That's a third question. Okay. 3 questions and I multiplied by 10. Now $30. Bless you. Allahumma ameen. Jazakumullah khairan. Barakallahu feekum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.